Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Business Page. I'm John Delano. This morning, additional federal funding could help the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers reduce flooding risks and improve the aging infrastructure of our local locks and dams. We'll find out what's likely to get done and how the Army Corps is still restoring power to the people of Puerto Rico almost a year after Hurricane Maria. Then, how the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center is enhancing the tracking and care of African American cancer patients, closing the gap in their treatment. And then why Ford Motor Company is so committed to helping breast cancer patients in their recovery. It's all next right here on the Sunday Business Page.
This is the Sunday Business Page on KDKA-TV.
And a very good morning to you. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday morning with us. For some time, we've been telling you about the deteriorating condition of the locks and dams that control the flow of our local rivers, prevent flooding, and improve conditions for river travel, for commerce, and pleasure. Under the Army Corps' fiscal year 2018 work plan, an additional $118 million has been allotted for civil works programs. $98 million will be used for the Lower Monongahela River project. What will that mean for the economy and for the safety of those who use the rivers or live along them? We welcome Sue Majewski, Director of Program and Project Management for the Pittsburgh District of the Army Corps of Engineers, to the Sunday Business Page. Also with us, C.J. Infantino, Chief of the Corps' Readiness Office. Members of their power team recently returned to Puerto Rico for the third time to restore power in the longest, largest temporary emergency power mission in the Corps' history. Hey, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate this.
Good morning, John. It is great to be here.
Thank you, Sue. And I want to ask you right off the bat about the locks and dams. And let's remind people again, we've got a lot of them, and they're really important to this region, aren't they?
John, they are very important to this region. We have, in the Pittsburgh District, we have the largest and oldest inventory in the nation of locks and dams. We maintain and operate 23 locks and dams, which, as I mentioned, is the oldest and largest inventory in the country. So infrastructure is of great concern.
And they are old. I mean, a lot of them are well past the years that we expected them to be useful.
Yes. Yes, in particular, Lock and Dam 3, which is part of the Lower Monongahela Navigation Project, which receives some of this funding in the work plan, is 111 years old. It is the oldest operating lock and dam in the country.
111 years old. I mean, that's almost incredible when you think about it. The fact that it's still operational, or you're keeping it. I mean, that's the thing. We got to give the Army Corps a lot of credit for keeping operational these locks and dams, which really should have been replaced decades ago.
Yes, we have a great staff of internal folks that do a fantastic job in maintaining our structures. Can
you tell us how this money is going to be used?
Yes, this money will be used to continue construction of the Charleroi locks. We have 3 ongoing contracts right now, and had we not received this money in fiscal year 18, it would have resulted in a 4-year delay in the project and well over $100 million in cost.
Wow.
So it's we couldn't continue construction.
So it is a good thing that Congress is doing right by us and getting us the money we need, which is much appreciated. CJ, you're involved in preparedness, and of course we had a lot of floods in this area. Over the last while. I mean, are we getting an unusual amount of flooding, and can you relate it to the locks and dams in some way?
Well, it's not really related to the locks and dams. I mean, it does, because all the water goes out to the rivers and then it goes to the locks and dams.
Right.
We are seeing a lot of rain this year. Unfortunately, we have those cells that drop massive amounts.
Right.
And it's hitting some areas that can't hold it. And right now we're looking at 3 different projects, what we call local flood protection projects: Sawmill Run, which is out in the West End, Latrobe, and Millville. They all received some damage from the recent rains, either from the June 20th rains or the July the 5th rains.
Right.
And the reason being was there was one cell that was concentrated in that area that just dumped an enormous amount of rain. And of course,
well, what are we doing about it? Is there anything that the Army Corps can do about this?
Well, one, those projects, because they're in a program, it's under PL 8499, which is a program which entitles that project to be rehabilitated if it is damaged during a natural event.
Right.
And we are engaged and we are pursuing to get those projects back up to speed to where they can provide future protection.
Right.
You know, it might be damaged now, but down the road we want to get them back to where if we do have another rain event, it'll protect the residents of the areas.
Right. I think we do forget sometimes that the dams are really important in terms of flood control, because you can control the amount of water that goes downstream and affects others. Let me ask you about Puerto Rico. I mean, any one of us, it's still amazing to me that there are parts of this island, a part of the United States, without power a year later. What's going on down there?
Well, the areas without power stems from the restoration of the grid and the infrastructure.
Right.
You know, Puerto Rico, you're talking an island, a lot of rock, a lot of difficult places to get to put up new poles and string new cable. You know, what I deal with especially is generators.
Right.
Okay. Hurricane Maria, it is historically the largest response mission that we have ever done. The Corps of Engineers speaking.
Did I read 1,330 generators?
At the peak of install time, yes. And now we are on the downside. We're de-installing generators. As of last night, we had 179 installed.
Right.
Okay. Now, those 179, they're not actually constantly running, but they're there because they're on critical facilities, life-saving, life-sustaining facilities.
Right, and that's part of your mission, I know, is to be where the greatest need is.
Exactly.
Do we still have parts of Puerto Rico without power?
No, not completely without power, no.
So, well, that's good news. Finally, Sue, we only have a couple seconds left here, but I want to come back to what is it that we can all do to support the Army Corps when it comes to these kinds of projects?
Well, it's important to note that I'm back on talking of navigation, is that navigation, barge traffic, is the cheapest and greenest form of transportation. And I just think that there's a lot of people that are unaware of that.
Cheapest and greenest form of transportation on the rivers.
It is. It is. And we're very fortunate in this area that we have an intermodal transportation system where we can switch from barge to rail to truck, and that's not possible in many other parts of the nation.
Well, we certainly appreciate all that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and you are a mainstay. We need you, and we need more money coming in. Maybe you can't say, but I'll say it. They need a whole lot more money, folks. Call your members of Congress. Call your senators. We need more money here in Pittsburgh to repair these locks and dams. Thank you for the work you're doing both here and also, I might add, in Puerto Rico. Very much appreciated on the show.
Thank you, John.
When the Sunday Business Page continues, what UPMC Hillman Cancer Center is doing to improve the disparity between cancer treatment for African Americans and other patients. Stick with us.